All right. So we're going to show you how to put TPN in. I am lucky because I have my sister who is a caretaker of me, and she is going to assist. Now the first thing you have to do is you have to gather all of your supplies. It's a needle, some saline, some tubing. You get new tubing every time you put your TPN in. Alcohol wipes, because you know you have to wipe every surface before you start hooking things in. And then some vitamins. I think they're called Infuvite that we're going to put into the TPN bag. And then of course the formula, the big white bag, is what's going to be pumping into me. Oh, and you can't forget the penny, because you have to use the penny to put the tubing on the pump. And then you also have to change the battery of the pump every time you're finished with one. One day you have to change it to a new battery every day, because you don't want to get a low battery. All right, well, we're going to start getting this stuff out and ready, and we'll tell you what's going on along the way. But I'm going to hand my camera off to my videographer and he can just video us here. My nephew Taylor is videoing, just unwrapping stuff. Now because I have been unhooked for a while, she needs to just saline. First I gotta wipe with an alcohol pad. And if you live by yourself and you don't have a caretaker, you can do all this by yourself. You would just get an extension to where it is down further, because right now I can't really reach a lot of what she does.
And then you also want to make sure that your clamp is unclamped. So when I push the saline, it's going to go in.
It's going to actually go.
When you get your saline, more than likely, it's leaking. More than likely there'll be air at the top. So all you want to do is push up a little bit and get the air out before you inject it, because you don't want bubbles in your PICC line.
You don't want to put air
in me. So you just attach this here onto the PICC line, and then you twist and it connects. You want to lift up and slowly push down. Empty it out.
You can feel it going in and in your mouth.
Then you just untwist and throw away.
Yay! Okay, now Holly is going to get the vitamins ready. And while she's doing that, I'm just going to take this tubing out and unroll it. But Holly will show you how to do the vitamins.
Alright, so you want to get your needle, and I always twist it to make sure it's tight, because this actually comes out. And I have found a couple times that when I inject it into these bottles here, it comes out, and I don't want to get stuck. So when you get your needle, pull it back to about 5. And you may not have vitamins, I don't know, but if you do.
Most people do.
Okay. You just open the lids, they just pop off. Now, you turn it upside down. Doesn't matter which one you do first. You stick your needle right in the middle of the rubber. And you don't want to push it all the way in, because what we're going to do is push down so that we're pushing air into the bottle. And then when I release, it'll automatically suction for me. And you pull the needle down a little bit more, because it's only going to suction half the bottle. And I don't know if you can see, but you can see the liquid and where it's at. So you just want to, let me turn this around. These are about 5 cc's in a bottle. So there's that one. And this one you don't push, you just insert the needle. And the second bottle's, you have to pull a little bit harder, but just keep pulling the needle down, because when you have it up here, you're just suctioning air. So you want it down where the liquid is. And you can see in the light, I don't know if you can see in the video, but in the light you can see when the bottle's empty. You just throw those away.
And then where you enter it is you will have like a foil or some kind of cap on the place where you're going to stick the needle in. This one you don't use. The middle one is where you actually put the tubing for the formula, and this last one is for the vitamins.
I will, side note, tell you that if there is a hard cap on here, it kind of looks like this. You just push down really hard and it pops off, because we had that issue before. Instead of the aluminum foil, they had a cap and we couldn't figure out how to get it off. So, alright, so you take the needle, and there's, just like in those vials, right in the middle here is a rubber stopper. You want to try and keep it flat and straight. You're going to put the needle in the middle and just gently push so it goes in. And then once you get it in, because you don't want to puncture the bag, so go slow, you just push the vitamins into the bag. Alright, and then recap this and put it in your red container.
Sharks box.
And then you just need to gently mix the vitamins for just a couple seconds.
Gently mix. Gently mix. Mix them all up. Okay.
Alright.
Right. Go ahead.
Now what I'm going to do is, in the middle, can you get a close-up of that? You just take the top part and twist it off and throw it away. So, I'm going to take
The tubing that I got out of the package.
yes. There is a blue piece on here, but she's already pulled it off, so you just pull it off.
Right, throw it away.
And on this part, this clamp is usually right on top of it. Just move it down, out of the way. And this is a cap, so you just take the cap off of this. And what I'm going to do is, just like the other time, I'm going to try and keep it straight because I don't want to put any holes in the bag. But I will tell you that once I stick it in here, I push real hard and turn, because once I've punctured it just a little bit, it will start leaking. So try and do it quickly. Alright. Okay, and then you just twist until there's a little bitty line right here. Try and get it just to about there. I don't know if you can see it, but you'll see it on yours. Just twist and push. And sometimes milk will come out, and that's okay, because this will stop it. Now, we're just going to take the bag. This is the easiest way to do it, and put it on this pole. And now I need the CAD. And if you look on here, there's 2 hooks here, 2 hooks here. All you do is hook it in and push it down. And what you're going to do is push down, and on this side right here, I'll try and do it sideways. You take this and you turn it until you hear 1 beep.
Yay.
And it'll tell you what to do. Hit next to continue. Prime tubing, which is what we want to do, yes. Now when you get this CAD, it should be preset for you every time. Alright, so hold yes to prime. So now we're going to just hold the yes button until it gets to the end of the tube.
Yes, and it takes a while.
Yeah. I call it milking the cow.
While she's doing that, some, she's awesome, because isn't she awesome? My sister awesome. I was just going to say that some things that have helped me while I have been on TPN is little things. Like I bought these containers to put my supplies in so that they're easy access for whenever we come in here. So like this one's totally full of container of equipment I have to use for my TPN, and then I have another one that's just full of my prescriptions and etc. I use this little pill caddy thingy because if you have to go to the hospital, it's easier for you to say to your friends, hey, will you grab my pill caddy thing, instead of trying to explain where all your pills are and what pills to bring. So that works out really well. I also use, depending on what your situation is, I use something called Quiz Ease. They're actually handing it out at the Mayo Clinic now for nausea. If you have really bad nausea, it helps a little, but if you have like, mild to moderate nausea, it really does make a difference. I like it. I use it. You can ask my sister. I'll be sitting there sniffing it some days.
I just want to say one thing. When you do the saline, be sure to keep the cap off the top of the saline, because we're going to use that later. And when you do use saline, anytime you use saline or heparin, always keep the cap, because they're going to come in handy. Just put them somewhere.
Yes. We'll show you when we, when we get to that part. Let's see. Well, Holly is priming. It's getting close. Yeah. And priming just simply means that you're getting the fluid to the end and getting out any big bubbles that might come up. So we're almost there. Here. Now when it gets to here, I'm going to take the cap off and I'm going to put the priming in the bag that the tubing came in. So we throw this bag away anyway, so it's just easier to, just use this bag. You don't have to, you can use whatever bag you want. Another trick I learned with priming is that when you're priming, as it gets closer to this right here, you hold it upside down, because if you hold it this way, a big bubble will form at the top. So you hold it upside down and it fills out, so that way you don't have any bubbles. It took me a while to learn that trick.
Little bubbles are okay, but the bigger ones you need to get out.
Need to get out the bigger bubbles. Alright, now I take the cap off. Stick it in my bag. Alright, go ahead, Allie.
I just want to make sure it's coming out. Yep.
It's coming out, and then you check to see if you have any big bubbles. Don't turn it upside down. And it looks pretty good. So, it's really hard to get a perfect line, but if you have some small bubbles, I wouldn't really worry too much about it. You got like a little small bubble there. You can flick it and make it even smaller. It's not going to hurt you.
And your machine is going to say continue priming, we're done. So we're going to say no. And it says start the pump. I'm not going to hit yes or no yet. I'm just going to take everything off this.
And I'm going to...
This is kind of a teamwork thing.
Yep, I'm going to get this thing that we were using, this saline top. This is where it comes in handy. I'm going to put it on top of this, because this has to go through my backpack, and I don't want this milky stuff on my backpack.
Alright, so bag on the left, or right, and cat on the left. And now we forgot this a couple of times. There's a little hole on the side that you're supposed to put this tube through. We forgot that a couple of times, but it is much easier if you do put it through.
Wrap that baby in there. you always put if you have a bag, I know some of you may have an IV pole, but if you have a bag, you always put the pump kind of backwards so that the display is up against the backpack, because on the front of the backpack is a little window that you can open and see the pump and what it says. All right, and now she's run it through the backpack, so now she gets to rewipe. And there's an extra wipe over there, Holly, if you want to wipe the end of that with a different wipe.
And where is the end? There it is.
And then she wipes the end of the tubing. Again, this is all something that you can do by yourself. I'm just lucky to have Holly for now anyways.
Okay. And then same thing as the saline. You just push it in and twist. Make sure it's tight. That's it. She's connected. And now, if you hit start, because it's probably gone off by now, it'll say again, start the pump, yes. And it'll say all different kinds of things, make noises, it's fine, let it do its thing. As long as you hear it start pumping, you're good.
So now I'll put my pump in backwards where that little window is. And strap it down even more. Apparently, you know, we don't want the pump. We don't want the tubing or pump to go anywhere. That would be bad. Close it up. Zip it up. And then, if you'll notice, it has stopped beeping. You open up the window and it will say press next to advance, press next. And that's it. That's all you have to do. It will start pumping in a little bit. Mine has a taper up period and a taper down period of an hour. So it'll be really slow for an hour, but then after that hour, it'll start doing its regular routine. So anyways, so that's how you do TPN. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment or just get in touch with me, and I will be more than happy to answer them for you. And thank you to my sister Holly and my nephew Taylor for videotaping. All right, thanks. Bye.